bronze. Yeah. Personally, I feel that's what it means. Yeah, that's one of my main complaints about the mastery system. So you can't be too terrible. Okay, I'm gonna be really harsh. Okay, this isn't like meant to be personal or anything, but you gotta get the you gotta get the mastery system related to performance out of your head completely. Like, it is absolutely garbage. It's really stupid of Riot to have a system in this game that makes you seem like that you're necessarily playing a champion well based on like S ranks and all this crap. Like, it's really just garbage. The only way you can tell if you're performing well on champions or not is, sure, winning the game is an indicator, but like actually going into your VODs and actually watching your games. Like, like people that actually want to improve, like I bet only like 1% of them have ever looked at one of their replays and actually looked at what they're doing in the game. I actually just watch the movement and just go, yeah, why am I taking that trade? Like, why am I positioning there? Why didn't I take the trade? Etc. Yeah, that's the only way you're gonna know whether or not you're playing the game properly or not. Now, I'm not like saying like after every single game that you play, you look at the VOD replay, but like have a look, like, especially like if you're in like a losing streak, like 2 or 3 games, instead of spending the time signing up to do another game, have a look at the replay and go, okay, what am I doing wrong? Like, why am I losing lane like 2 times in a row, back to back? Like, what caused this? Sometimes, for sure, sometimes it's out of your hands. There are going to be games where the loss is just going to happen. It happens. But in a lot of cases, it's going to be situations where it's like, yeah, I should have, you know, done this or done that. I should have maybe moved to mid. I should have, you know. So that's the only way you're going to get an actual indicator whether or not you're playing a champion properly. Mastery system is trash. Yeah, basically what Locke says. It can be cringy watching yourself play. Bonus points if you have like a high elo player that can like look at with you. They don't have to be like a diamond. If you're bronze, they can just be like a gold. I'd advise like plus like 2 divisions up. So like if you're in bronze, get someone from gold. If you're in silver, get someone from black plus. And they can like just go like, yeah, you should have done this, you should have done that. Yeah, and ignore dev. What if viewing the VOD doesn't help? If it doesn't help, then at least you tried. Like, if you've never tried it, like, you should, everyone should try it at least once. If you don't know how to look at your own VODs, then you're going to need to ask people for help. That's whoever, yeah. So yeah, that's such a toxic mentality. I don't know who coached you, but honestly, they shouldn't ever offer advice to anyone ever again. I hate this mentality. Like, only pro players can climb with support. Like, only, like, every game there are 5 different roles, right? There's a support that's going to win the game, and there's going to be a support that's going to lose the game, right? You can climb as support. Absolutely you can. When I've watched people on my VODs in bronze, in iron, in silver, and watch their replays, like 90% of the time it's just that they don't know the potential of their champion, so they're either playing like ridiculously oversafe, or they just take the most random trades for like no reason whatsoever. They're not paying attention to cooldowns of their abilities, they're not paying attention to cooldowns of the opponent's abilities. Like that is literally like the only thing that's happening in the laning phase is cooldown management and like knowing the amount of damage or healing that a champion does, but they don't know those numbers. And they're too scared to find out as well. Like, it's better to take the risks than to not. I'd rather see someone go like, you're learning to play the game, go 0-6 than go 0-0. And then still lose the game anyway. At least the person that's doing 0-6, and they're doing it because like they're overextending a lot, at least they're understanding what the capabilities of their champion are like able to do. The person going 0-0 is not learning anything. There's nothing being registered in their brain. They're not like going, oh, I'm actually taking this amount of damage from this person, or I'm dealing this amount of damage to someone. Nah, as whoever, yeah, I don't know. You can definitely claim a support. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're just complete like degenerates, honestly. Yeah, that sounds rough, Raw, that you paid someone to... Yeah. Just sounds like they were a terrible coach. You don't need coaches, though. Coaches are fast track, right? If a good coach can fast track you to high ELO. 100%. Right? But I'd say, like, when you're in bronze... You have a whole library of knowledge to absorb, right?
Haven't been here in a long time. Very nice to see you're still amazingly chill and educational, Bizzle heart.
Hey, still, thank you for the 4-month sub. So when you're like new at something, you have a whole library, right, available to you to digest and understand and learn. When you're like very high ELO, there's only like, you know, like 95 to 99% of the stuff, right? It's just like the 2% stuff that you need to identify and iron out and stuff. And that's when coaches becoming like very handy, because it's like it's when you get to that kind of stage, you need that help to identify what that 1% is, because 1% in like challenger in pro play is like huge. It's the same with like anything in any sport. Like just getting out the extra like tiny percent and stuff is just huge. Yeah, Abby. Don't judge me, Pit. Just trying to think if there's anything else to like add to that. But like, as I said, like if you're a new player, you've got not a lot of knowledge, so you have a lot of free access to stuff. Like you can just pick a topic. It can just be specifically just to your one champion that you're interested in, and you can definitely develop on that and learn that champion more, without having a coach. Is it going to be slower? Yes. Is it going to be cheaper? Yes. So yeah. You play way too passive? Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem that a lot of people have. People are too scared to make mistakes and then get flamed. That's like the problem. You're gonna have to take risks in order to learn anything. Same with anything in life, right? You're not gonna know something's bad until you try it. And then if it is bad, then you won't make the same mistake twice, hopefully. think you want to have fun. If you want to have fun, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine as well. The one thing that people have a problem with though is that, I don't know if this necessarily applies to you, you want to have fun, but then you also feel bad at being bronze or iron or silver or whatever, right? Unfortunately, like, it's very difficult to have both worlds. Like, you can play fun champions and goof around, play random things and random lanes and stuff like that, but like, you're not going to be optimizing your playstyle necessarily. I say necessarily because it does, like, the extra knowledge of playing random stuff does help you in the, like, in some circumstances, but it's like, if you want to climb tomorrow, then you need to fixate on very, very niche things. Also, for the people that want to try hard and actually climb in ranked, stop playing ARAM, stop playing fun modes.
I decide what the tide will bring.
The time that you could be using playing like in ARAM and stuff could very easily just be playing Summoner's Rift. And that's just kind of like the harsh reality of it. Right? If you have time to play League, why are you not then playing League and getting better at it and then doing ranked, right? If you want to climb. Pike. Yikes. Wasn't quite expecting that actually. No fun allowed? I mean, yeah. Like, no goofing around at least anyway, right? It's just the same with anything in life, right? Like, if you want something, you're gonna have to put effort into it, right? You can't just ignore it. You can't just, you know, pretend like doing other random stuff is gonna like do the thing that you actually want, right? I think ARAM is useful for champions leveling up to level 30 dev. That is like, yeah, I mean, they shouldn't be worried about ranked at that point anyway. Learning champions is always a good thing, and like doing ARAM before you're at that point of doing ranked is fine. I think doing ARAM to product, if you want to learn champions like genuinely, you should just be doing it in normals. In normal Summoner's Rift, you shouldn't be doing it on ARAM. You're not, okay, you're gonna learn like kind of what the champion does, but you're not gonna learn the ins and outs from like one random ARAM from being allocated that champion. You're not gonna learn anything about it really, honestly. Plus also the damage numbers are adjusted in ARAM, so like you're not gonna be registering properly how much damage or how much healing X champion does in ARAM, because it's not the same when coming over into Summoner's Rift. Like ARAM is such a bait, honestly. So yeah, do be careful. But anyway, that talk there was literally just for people that genuinely want to climb and only care about climbing. I mean, that's not going to be for everyone. Like what I said there was like very elitist, and it's just like the things you have to do in the game if you want to climb, right? If you don't care about ranked, then just ignore everything I just said. Just keep doing whatever you want to do. But I'm mainly talking to the people that are in iron, bronze, and silver wishing that they were high yellow. $3,200 ARAMs. I mean, if you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it, right?
Quit flopping around.
It's not like the most deadliest bot lanes. This Ziggs early isn't great, his damage isn't that high. I won't be able to get away with that next time. He'll know I'll try and do that. Why did they go for Nami? Well, Pyke wasn't picked, but Nami Jinx is decent. What's the grey part of Pyke's health? When he goes out of vision of us, he gets to regen a portion of that back.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
So if he goes into a brush where it's not warded, he gets to heal. And also from that method, he can also tell like what is warded and what isn't. And Ziggs is out of mana. But I'm out of mana now as well. I wish I had cookies now. Oof. Ziggs has teleport. He's my favorite support champion. Nami probably.
Enemy killing spree.
I mean, Ziggs has no mana. Okay. Ziggs will probably end up TPing back down here. Well, I hope that helps some people anyway. Hope that helps you, Gutty. I mean, it's just like, some people just need the reality check kind of thing. The little wake up call, like, sometimes people forget that they need to actually, if they want something, then they need to put the actual effort in, and they actually need to like care to want it. And in some cases, you guys need to work out whether you if you feel it's actually worth climbing in League. I think for a lot of people that do ranked, realize quite late that they actually don't care.
Shut down. Double kill. An enemy has been slain.
Kind of losing 1v1 here. I mean, I can kill this Ziggs, I think.
There's always another way.
Pyke will be back down here though in a second.
Has been slain.
It's gonna heal her. I think Pyke's here.
Shut down.
Ride upon the waves.
You have slain an enemy.
Got him. push this lane in then.
We are all tied to the ocean.
An ally has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
Got enough for ulti. Just trying to eye up what I've got mana wise here. Okay, Ignite was probably overkill. Okay, cool. Lee's taking the CS, just recoil I guess. Bit of Lee syntax. Why is Rel so bad? She has severe constipation when she's not on her horse. I mean, she's got to keep it somewhere, right?
Feet are strange.
Kind of reminds me of like the Grand Theft Auto, where you like keep the bazooka in your back pocket. They're in this bush. They're absolutely in this bush. Like, it's just kind of too obvious. There's no dragon here, and they've gone back into lane. Yeah, okay. They were waiting for me to face check it. Let's try though. Would have worked on some people for sure. Like, Pyke is just such a strange pick down here because Zig's damage is like very low early.
I will see my home again.
Like, Pyke's good into Nami, but you kind of need
An ally has been slain.
like extra oomph to execute on the engage. Hi, can I help you?
Shut down.
There's
You
always
might have saturated over the wall. No, okay.
Double kill.
sure as the tide.
Pike's coming down into the river. I'm not really that scared of it though.
Song of the sea.
Decent Shen ulti that she saved her life. I was kind of lazy, I was Jinx getting hooked by the Pyke there.
An enemy has been slain.
People and their
Rampage.
We are all
Nice.
tied to the ocean.
Rude. I actually need help. Okay, Pike was coming down here. I thought I might get pincered in by the Ziggs. Okay, we do not want this. Okay, okay. This is gonna be fun.
Shut down.
Everyone's piling onto mid now.
Turret plating will soon fall. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Killing spree.
My quest beckons.
Problem is set 6 kills. This could be dangerous. I would be more keen for this fight if I had an Imperial mandate. Without it, I feel kind of naked. Alright. Nice. Oh, F.
I will see my home again.
Pike didn't get an assist for that kill though, at least.
Quit flopping around.
What support jump is free ELO though? There isn't one.
There's always another way.
There are some that are better than others. For sure. Some that have higher win rates. But yeah, what Sheen just said.
Sure as the pond.
Have a look at my tier list. See if there's some champions there that you like that are in tier 1 or tier 2. I'll just focus on practicing those for a bit.
I still hear the song of the sea.
Nothing in life is free unless you're one of Jeff Bezos' children. Or grandchildren. Or great-grandchildren.
People and
Or great-great-grandchildren.
has destroyed a turret.
Sheesh.
ride upon the waves.
Carry champions can help in terms of like dictating more of the flow of the game. One of my favorites is Zyra because she can do Herald, Baron, and Dragons pretty efficiently with the Leandries. Same with Brand. But honestly, I feel like at the same time, that advice is only useful for people that smurf. I feel like if you're in bronze anyway, you ain't carrying nothing. You need to get out of that mental. You're in the same skill level as everyone else in the game. In fact, enchanters are actually pretty damn good, particularly right now, because generally people in bronze and silver make bad decisions in team fights quite often. And that means fights last longer generally as well. People are making decisive picks. The supports and their healing and their utility actually end up coming generally on top. So unless you're legit smurfing, honestly, AP carries don't really make that much of a difference. I think one of the hardest things to play as a support is a hard engage. Like a Leona and Nautilus are pretty good in low elo right now, or in most elos anyway. But the problem is, no, you had to do the BM run away.
Unstoppable.
There's always another way.
Maybe I can find.
People are counting on me. Sure as the tide.
Stick with the Shen up here. He's got teleport, but okay. So yeah, sorry, I was talking about tank supports in low elo. So yeah, one of the biggest problems that tank support players have is actually knowing when to go in the first place, and then you got a secondary option, secondary side effect as well, is that your AD carries might not know how to follow up, or if they should follow up.
You'll hear the song of the sea.
But the flip side of that potentially happening in the bot lane, it means it is one of the few types of support that does allow you to ditch your AD carry. If your AD carry is literally like very emo, mega tilted, wanting to run it down, blah blah blah, you know, like 0-4 at 6 minutes, then you need to basically just look to roam. There's no support point supporting a potato. So you might as well try and help a lane get ahead or maintain that lead, whether it's making sure that their lane is warded so they're prevented from ganks, or it's like you're actually assisting in terms of killing the enemy laner. Just do it.
An ally has been slain.
Hey Severian, thank you for the 6 months resub, thank you. You can climb as support, you can climb literally whether it's on a mage, enchanter or tank. You just gotta understand your champion's weaknesses. And where they excel at. And in bronze and iron and silver you should be climbing. Just gonna take a little bit of time. Sometimes it takes some people longer than others, but I honestly believe everyone is capable in this chat of hitting gold. Everyone in this chat is capable of hitting gold 4. I believe that everyone is able to, regardless of the large majority of disabilities as well.
This is Minnows play.
I genuinely believe it's possible. Which is same for plat. Plat will be harder. The higher you get, the more. Okay, so it's like. Hold on. Oh, crap. Okay, I thought that Fizz was going to engage me. I don't have flash. The higher you climb in anything, in any sport, any game, any ladder, the higher you are, the harder it is to get the next rank up. Going from bronze 4 to bronze 3 is 10 times easier going from diamond 4 to diamond 3 in terms of like skill level, etc.
Quit flopping around.
Because you need to identify and sort out much more minor things in order to get higher. And it's the same with literally any sport. Like, you know, in like tennis or whatever, for example, like, or like even in professional football players, you know, like there are just only a few footballers. But everyone in the game is like a Premier League player, right? Or a world-class player, but there are a few players in on a team that are just like, wow. They don't have much more over the other people, but they stand out, and that's what you kind of need in League, in anything, in terms of like getting the extra. You gotta find out what that extra thing is that you need.
Enemy has been slain.
People and their
An ally has been slain. Double kill.
People say gold to plat is no difference. Well, of course that's not true.
Shut down.
I still hear the song of the sea.
There's always a difference between ranks. Sometimes it's not major. The difference between the difference between identifying a silver and a gold player is going to be much harder than a difference between a diamond and a challenge or like a master player. They're only like 1 division difference each, but it's like the amount of skill that you need is much greater. Problem is you get okay at a champion and you get bored. That's why you just need to focus on 3. If you focus on 3, then like if you do get bored of playing 1, at least you have the other one that you can play, right? Or if there's like a really bad patch for your champion, then at least you're not screwed over.
Swim against the current.
JD, I don't think that analogy is entirely accurate though. Okay. For example, I'm currently in Diamond 3 in Valorant and my games are significantly easier than they were in Silver and Gold because people know how to play the game. Okay, so there's another element to that as well. So it sounds like you sucked at the basics, but actually you're really good at the advanced stuff. That's what that sounds like. And there's a lot of people in League like that actually. They focus their research and time so much on learning macro that their laning phase is so crap. But they manage to go on like a lucky win streak and win like 20 games in a row or whatever. It's entirely possible to do that. Right? But then they're in high ELO games where the macro is generally a lot better. So that it facilitates the things that they've learned much better. Does that make sense? So it's like, it sounds like you skipped steps, but you managed to get out. I think there's a lot of people in League that do the exact same thing. They think they're okay at a champion when they're not. So they start looking at like warding strats, macro strats, when to rotate, all of this stuff. But they haven't sorted out their laning phase, but they managed to get on a lucky win streak, get into games which are more appropriate to the macro, and then climb from that. Because honestly, macro doesn't really make that much difference in low elo. There's an element to it for sure, but like it's nowhere near as finesse as like even in gold plus. That's probably what that I mean, this is a lot of assumption. That is, I'm assuming that is probably why you found it easier in high elo. Do you still think you can do fine in rank by playing multiple champions? How many is multiple? Do you think Senna will be... I haven't looked at the change of stand, sorry. Didn't die that game, did I? Pog.